You know, the world of politics is a funny old game, as they say, right? And what we've seen over here right now in the United Kingdom is a radical shift because for many years there were simply just two parties. Now there's a new kid on the block, and it also looks like somebody else is facing the block. None other than the current British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer. As ever, let me explain. Morning, chums. Nice to see you here in the very heart of London's King's Cross. Hope you keep it. We'll have a lovely wave. I hope you keep it well, whatever you're doing. By the way, I just saw somebody on the tube and they had a bag full, a huge bag full of reduced Easter eggs, all from a leading brand who say every little helps. I'll just leave it there. What a bargain he got, though. Even a Reese peanut butter one. Goodness, couldn't believe it. I was envy. You know me in a bargain. Yes, I'm like Sherlock Holmes. I should have the deerstalker on. Well, someone else who should have the deerstalker on is none other than the current British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer, following, well, a disastrous time in the polls. Now, whether you like it or not, Keir Starmer and, of course, his government desperately tried to shut down a lot of these regional elections. Whether you like it or not, there were swathes, of course, of local people unable to vote across the United Kingdom. And what was fascinating about this was, even with that restriction, everything took on a different turn. On a more serious note, though, at number 10, naturally, Sir Keir had to come out and explain exactly why they've done so badly. And it was the usual sort of question, you know, and the usual answer. We need to listen, we need to learn. Lessons have been learned. Well, clearly not. What was fascinating was, up in Runcorn, literally a normally safe seat for this particular party, they sent a former MP up there who's currently looking for extradition from Bangladesh with literally a warrant for her arrest to assist. Naturally, this particular MP in question lost that area. Can you imagine how stupid that is? Clearly, they've learned no lessons. But on a serious note, behind the scenes now at 10 Downing Street, questions are being asked about change of leadership, as one can imagine. And where this gets really interesting is, more importantly, the people they're looking at and the people that the Labour Party feel could possibly be relatable is none other than this woman. That's right, the current British Deputy Prime Minister. And the reason behind that is they feel that Angela Rayner, who's kept her sort of counsel, kept out of all of this shenanigans, even though she's failed to end the Birmingham bin strike, well, apparently she's more popular than the British Prime Minister. That wouldn't be difficult, would it, really? He's rated as the most unpopular British Prime Minister in the history of polling. Now, of course, behind the scenes, they'll say, no, it's business as usual. And, of course, we've got Rachel Reeves looking after the economy. So what can possibly go wrong? But on a more serious note, literally, this has become a huge problem now for the current government of the United Kingdom. So much so, as you can imagine, this is now reverberated over to the United States. And more importantly, as I told you a while back now, the current president of the United States, Donald Trump, would rather much deal with none other than Prince William, the Prince of Wales, despite whatever he said sitting down and getting that invitation for a state visit from the current British Prime Minister. And he feels he's got more in common with Prince William, the way that he deals with business, and apparently is a far better communicator. Make of that what you will. We need the United States, they are our friend, and seemingly after this disastrous recent electoral result, it looks like Keir Starmer is literally a ticking time bomb. But for how long now can he stay in 10 Downing Street? It's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London's King's Cross.